August 5th, 2024, Monday morning. It's about 9:30 in the morning. It feels weird on Monday mornings to not have work for this long. In the past, it has happened that where I had a few months of break here and there from jobs, but this might be the longest because since my job late last year, there's so much happened that I didn't even have the time to look for jobs, and which is okay. It's my decision, and I don't regret it. I got to learn so much. I got to grow emotionally, right? You know, they talk about emotional intelligence. So in my opinion, sometime, especially in our midlife, right, we know the priorities in our life, and we got to make wise decisions about those. And so I was doing that, and I'm so glad I did that, because yesterday when I met with a friend and we got to talk about different things, and she's about my age too, probably a couple of years younger. We talked about things, especially as a woman at this stage of life. I'm pretty sure men too at this stage of life, in midlife, you kind of think through life more, I don't know, more seriously, maybe in some way, where, you know, what really makes you happy, and in life, what is your priority and whatnot, a lot of different things, right? If you have a good friend, I'm pretty sure you also talk about these things, and if you don't, I would encourage you to do that, because, you know, life is life will take you to places that could be miserable for a very long time, and you may not do anything about it, and then it just becomes more challenging if we continue on that challenging path. Not that challenge is a bad thing, we can always learn from challenges, but after we learn how we use that learning, how we, and the core of it is always, you know, to be kind and compassionate towards others and towards ourselves. And I have been focusing a lot on videos and everything, that forgiving ourselves, to forgiving our and to be kind and compassionate towards ourselves, because a lot of time it is so easy to do that for others, right? When, imagine if a friend felt bad about something, you try to console them, right? And if they made a mistake, you'd say, it's okay, you know, we are after all a human being, you made a mistake, it's okay. You know, and try to do better next time, or something like that. But we forget, more often than not, we forget to do that for ourselves. We hold on to those guilt. We hold on to those guilt that, I wish I didn't say that, I wish I didn't do that, I wish I did better, I wish I, you know, if I did this and this and this, and things could have been better here or better there. But one video I made where a lot of people talked about, and one of the person, and thank you for saying that she said that it was a message that really resonated with her right at the minute, and she needed to hear something like that. And I'm so glad, because when I started making this channel, I just started as a journaling, because I was afraid that without the community of support, I will give up the mindfulness practice. That was the biggest reason for me to start the channel, because I did not have the community who were practicing mindfulness. I just had one or two friends I was talking to about, and Thich Nhat Hanh books. I was very big into his books. I still am, but excuse me. I read Thich Nhat Hanh books and lots of other books to learn new things, learn more things. And I'm sorry, I'm pretending like as if I'm just by myself, but this is what all this channel is about, right? It's raw, very raw videos of me, my emotions, my day-to-day, and someday I hope that it becomes someone else's survival guide, because in some way excuse me. Oh my god, it's kind of a little cold in the house. I might end up getting a hoodie or something soon. Anyway, hopefully the thumbnail picture didn't take a picture with the when I was using the washcloth in my on my nose, because those pictures are random and sometimes it makes me look weird. I could change it to a nicer picture, but this channel is not about that. I just wanted to keep it real. And for that matter, if YouTube is picking some random pictures, that's okay too. You know, I had a good channel 4 or 5 years ago, and I used to do that was also to help people for different things. And I used to edit for a long time and do things, but this channel is nothing like that. It's just all raw, nothing prepared. I read, listen to books, and I probably will read a couple of pages at some point of this book, The Book of Joy. I'm focusing a lot these days. It's so good, because it's not only about religious things or spiritual things, I mean, because Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, they both are Buddhist and Christian, so there's less of religious talk. It's more spiritual, like but it's funny, they both, sometimes the way they talk as if like they're 5 or 10-year-old kids, and they both are kind of dancing here. So Desmond Tutu has a dance move, you can see, and Dalai Lama is not really dancing much, because I think Buddhist monks with their vows, they're not supposed to dance or something. But it's funny the way they talk to each other. It would make it feel like they're like little kids. So it's a different aspect of things, how they share the good things, how they share to be kind and compassionate towards the other people, the world, and to ourselves. It's very good. Yeah, so what I was saying is that I've been trying to do that a lot, to be kind to my older version, and there will be times and situations you won't get the approval from people that you have been seeking from, and it is okay. It is their life, because it is where they are in their life. If somebody is not seeing the growth in you, somebody is not seeing the goodness in you, because our inner world is the reflection of the outer world is the reflection of our inner world. That means they have not found that in themselves. And same thing for us. If we are not seeing in others, that means we still need to work on ourselves in those areas, right? Because life is all about how we are seeing ourselves. as odd or weird or whichever way it may sound like, when we are kind to others, that means that we have worked on that part in ourselves that was not always so kind, right? And I have had situations where in the past, sometime I would act in a certain way versus now I can act a little differently, and then I notice it that I'm acting differently. That is a lot because I think in the last many months I worked on myself, and I'm proud of that. And my little daughter Alice, she's 8.5. She talks about how Buddhism has helped me, and she likes Buddhism. She likes that channel Buddhism where the monk, and we don't know his name, and Alice also wants to find out his name, and I googled it. They don't have his name anywhere. But anyway, a couple nights ago she wanted me to play that Buddhism loving kindness meditation when we were going to bed, because she we play her kid meditation when she goes to bed, and she's been sleeping with me for many months, and she broke her arm. Second time she broke, and then surgery, all of that. Anyway, so a couple nights ago she wanted me to play that Buddhist monk his meditation, and I thought it was so nice because Alice at her age, thinking of loving kindness, thinking of those type of meditation. I do hope that my little girl, when she grows up, she thinks or learns some of these things, because life is not gonna be. We don't have a straight path for life. We don't know what all goes on in our lives, and it was funny. She was talking about 8.5-year-old, like her boyfriend, a little guy. She has a crush on him, and she was talking to me about all that. And it was funny for a moment to me. It felt like she's all older, like, I don't know, 15 or 20, that she's talking about a boy. But anyway, it was kind of funny, and I was trying to listen to her, what she was saying. And then I thanked her for trusting me, for sharing that with me, because as parents, we can be there only as a guide, only when they share share the things with us, right? So you got to encourage them when they are sad or mad, or even when they're happy or something they're really afraid about. So we want them to feel comfortable enough to share the things, the challenges that they're facing, because a lot of time what happens is the kids, they don't know how to share. They don't feel encouraged to share their emotion, right? So from a lot of learning, a lot of things, I try to tell her in a way that would make sense to her. But sometimes we try to say it in a way, as parents, even though we want to be perfect or not perfect, we say it in a weird way. But I think hopefully this one was okay, because I said that, and then a little later it's like, I love you, mommy. So I'm like, okay, so she liked that. I'm using this cup again today. Every day is a fresh start. I have several of these cups with the different positive messages in them, and I was kind of cycling them different one on a different day. And this month, August of 2024, for some reason, I have, I don't know, I feel there's a little more courage, a little more strength in me, and I'm praying to God more consistently, I would say, than I have been before. I did it before, but I have been doing more consistently, and probably because I'm with that community of support. There are a few girls who I'm in touch with, and they pray a few times a week, and sometime I join, and I think that has given me a lot of strength, a lot of courage, And I try to remind myself that every day is a fresh start. Every day is a fresh start, and it's not only every day. What I also learned from different books and things is every moment, right? Sometimes if the day is going bad or challenging or whatnot, you don't have to wait for the next day. You don't have to wait for the next sunrise. It's the next moment. Moment to moment is different. Each second is different. So we just have to allow ourselves, we have to give the permission to ourselves that, if we are, and I use this is like the bad side or this is the good side, which could be any side. The point is that, we have two sides in all of us, where this is the subconscious will try to drive you towards that autopilot where we react, and this is the conscious mind which will get us to respond, which is help us to stay positive. So we have to be more conscious so that we keep our mind in this zone, and will not be always successful no matter how much we practice, no matter how much we do. Even for monks, they say, right, only thing is they can do it better on like how to let the challenging thought go like a cloud, right? So it's all about practice. We just gotta practice, and we just gotta practice, and then eventually we do more and more. We stay more here and less here, and that needs to be our goal. I was listening to some affirmations and things that I usually do every morning. This morning, one of the video from Joe Dispenza where I like how Joe Dispenza talks about like sounds very scientific and very like how they have tested those things. Someday I would want to attend his workshop. I know that the workshop, he is not there in the full workshop. It's a lot of his people, and I think he shows up only for a little bit. Sort of same with Tony Robbins, but I do want to attend those at some point in my life. This would be probably a perfect point, but it's not as easy to kind of plan and do all of that with midst of all the other craziness in life, right? We gotta laugh more often. We gotta smile more often. Yesterday, when I met with a friend, I think I laughed in a long time. I did not laugh like that, and I was laughing from the core, from my. It was authentic. It was authentic. I was just feeling it when I was talking to her about some certain things. It was funny, and as it felt good. They say that when you smile or laugh, it releases some, I don't know, dopamine, endorphin, something in the brain. So I think it was releasing that, and it's good. So I would highly encourage, if any of you watch this video. I know some people do because I see you guys comment, and then so I'm so grateful for you. And then new people subscribe, and then I see returning users, and thank you so much. I would highly encourage the in a challenging time, especially for me, what I found most helpful was that having people to support me, to guide me, to navigate this challenging things as I am navigating, because our life is not meant to be lived alone. And you'd have people around you, your family, your friends, but sometimes when things get so hard, you need to find people, because otherwise it just gets harder. In Dale Carnegie book, this is the book that one of my most favorite book of all times, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Oh, this is so good. This is good for family, raising kid in your workplace. The way I take the messages, different people conclude the message differently. I just take it in in that book, the message is all about being nice to people. That's it. And being nice to people, especially when they're not nice to you, because that's how you can change others. Because when somebody's nice to us, somebody's kind to us, it's easy to be kind and nice to them, right? But our niceness and kindness is really tested when somebody is not nice to us, is not kind to us. Now, the point is not that somebody is not nice to you or kind to you for again and again and again, 10 times, 20 times. Then there would be a time you just create a distance, right? Because you don't want to become a doormat. That's not what life is supposed to be. So yeah, laugh and smile, and so in that book, what I was saying is there's a saying, it's like double the joy and half the sorrow. Double the joy and half the sorrow. That's what can happen with with a friend. When you're happy and you're sharing that happiness, it just grows. And if you're trying to laugh by yourself watching a TV show, and imagine if you're watching it with somebody and then you're laughing, and it's more fun, right? That way. And when you're sad, when you are suffering all by yourself, that suffering can be lessened when you are talking to somebody else who is either supporting you, or maybe they have gone through the similar type of suffering and you're talking to them. Then you feel like you are not alone. So so that community, if your community consists of just one friend, that is good. If your community consists of 10 friends, that is good too. But it is important to find that connection. And sometimes life gets busy for everybody, like family, kids, doctor's appointments, job, whatnot, and then people may or may not be always there for us when we need them, and then we need to find our refuge in ourselves. And for me, this is one, that's partly why I created this channel, is the raw, authentic me. I talk here. It's like a journaling. And I tried to do it privately, where I would write it down and so many other ways, but I figured that I don't continue that way. I give up. So this is one way I knew that I would do it. So you just got to figure out like what is that something that will help you to maintain the consistency. Because a few months ago, one of the best mindfulness meetup event I attended, it was only an hour. In my opinion, that was the best meetup I attended, and I actually wrote a comment about that too in their group. I need to look up if they have any upcoming event coming. Speaking of that, but anyway, so they mentioned the two things that really resonated with me. One is the consistency. Consistency is one of the most important things in mindfulness practice or spiritual practice, anything that you do. If you're a Christian, if you're reading a Bible, how consistent you are on that. If you are doing mindfulness practice and you're very deep into Buddhism, like how consistently are you following the practices? Same with Hinduism and other type of religion. I'm very open with religions. Any type of religion that you follow, especially if in your midlife, and if you found your happiness through God, if you found your happiness through spirituality, consistency is the key. I did not know that a few weeks ago when Alice and I were talking about things, and she pointed it out that, Mommy, God makes you happy, because we were talking about what makes us happy. Ramen noodles makes her happy, I know that. And then when we were talking about me, and the first thing was, she's like, oh, I make you happy, like Alice makes me happy, which is very true. And then she said, God makes you happy, and that just blew my mind, how kids see things, and they say it to you. It's just amazing, right? It blows your mind sometimes, because we don't really realize it sometimes that what we are doing, like we're an autopilot, but they are so aware. They are so aware. We think that kids don't understand, but they understand everything, right? Yeah, sometimes they understand things more than we do, right? They can sense it, they can feel it. Anyway, so yeah, in life, it is so important to forgive ourselves for our prior mistakes and also nourish the goodness in us because like even until today when I've been talking about the challenges or the guilt or whatnot, but how many times did I say good about me? Now it's not about bragging about myself, and I talk about the good about my friends, and it is also about affirmation, right? I listen to these affirmations from YouTube videos and stuff for to remind myself of the goodness in me. And there are things where they would say that Louise Hay, she talks about like look at the mirror and say that you're beautiful, you're strong, and things like that. How many times do we do that to ourselves? We don't. So if there are no outside validators, then it just goes out the window. Um, like I remember last week, it was last Monday actually, no, last Wednesday. One woman when she gave me a compliment about the shirt I was wearing at the doctor's office, and the week before I was in the library. A older woman, she also talked about my shirt. The color was nice or something, and it stuck with me because it's the outside validation is sometimes how we live our life with. We think that if somebody didn't say that we are beautiful, if somebody didn't say that we are not good enough or something, and then it just we start thinking that way. So I am teaching Alice to believe in herself because we go through experiences in life and and as a kid we don't get to share it with others, and this is a very little for a very funny weird experience, and Alice is probably gonna go crazy with me when she grows up if she listens to this video. So anyway, so she was in second grade. Now she's gonna be going to third grade in a few weeks. So she had her first boyfriend, and a boyfriend at second grade. Anyway, so on their lunchtime at school, they used to eat lunch together. And then she said that the boy cheated on her. I'm like, how did he cheat in second grade? And then she's like, since then I'm so afraid to ask anybody to be my boyfriend. I'm like, what? So we were kind of having fun yesterday talking about this stuff. And she said, well, we were sitting and eating lunch together, and then he started eating lunch with somebody else, and he didn't really tell me. He just randomly went away, and then when I told him, and then he said, no, I don't trust you anymore. So Alice felt really bad. She felt like the boy didn't tell her anything, and he just moved on with another girl to eat lunch with, and in her mind that was like that he was not nice to her anymore and whatnot. So I told her that it's okay if you did that, and if he's telling you that he doesn't trust you and he went with somebody else, and you didn't do anything wrong, don't take it personally. That means he doesn't deserve you. He doesn't deserve you because my little girl, I don't know exactly what happened, but let's say just giving her the benefit of the doubt that she didn't do anything wrong. But she's holding on to that emotion where she's saying that, since then I am afraid. So the little fear got created in her. I'm afraid to ask. I don't remember if she said to ask anybody to my boyfriend, but the thing is, like, she has that little fear in her that she's not good enough, right? And it is important to teach kids that if somebody did not validate her, if somebody thought that she's not good enough, that does not mean that she is not good enough, right? I always teach her to believe in herself. to not give up. And recently I started also telling her trust in God, right? So these are the, I don't know, like a mantra I teach her to remember, because while I was growing up, nobody told me to not believe in yourself. In fact, opposite things happen, which is okay, because I don't have any grudge against anyone or anything about that. In life, we all learn, we all have experiences. That's how. And I'm pretty sure I'm doing a bunch of wrong things with Alice, and without knowing. So same thing happened with me. I'm pretty sure people don't have bad intention. People have good intentions when they do things. That's what Indra Nui, the PepsiCo CEO, she retired from that CEO job, and I think now she's on Amazon's board. She says whenever somebody does something, if you think that their intentions are good, that will help you to process it better. So that's what I try to do. So anyway, when somebody is saying that to believe in yourself, to not give up, those things really, really do help. A lot of it I also learned from Michelle Obama's the book Becoming, how her life was so challenging too when she was young in that neighborhood in Southside. But her mom and dad, they really supported her and her brother, and they were able to reach heights, not only about their studies, but became a very good people, good people, caring and inspiring the world. I do believe that my little girl, she has the potential to inspire so many people. I just hope she follows that path. Anyway, long time from now, it's like she's only 8. Anyway, I'm not going to impose it on her. So if any were worried that I want her to be happy, I want her to live a life of contentment. I learned through many things that in life it is important to feel happy. It is important to know when to learn and grow ourselves, because people can only try to help us. People can try to teach us different things, but it is up to us. Unless we are ready, we are not going to learn the lesson. So if we want to change some things in our life, I think in Buddhism, maybe Dalai Lama says you can, or many people say, I think eventually Dispenza, you either change the situation because you do have the power to make your own decision to change the situation, or try to be happy in the situation you are in. So there's only two ways to live life, either withdraw from it, meaning take a different path, or stay in there and try to be happy doing the things that you think will make it better. No in between. And unfortunately, we as people, a lot of time in our life, we live that in between life when we are there living a life. However, we are not happy, we don't have contentment, but we're still living that life, and we complain. And it's not only you, you and me, it's our human nature, and that's why we need to practice. We need to practice, like when I go to the gym, which I gotta make it more frequently to lose the weight. Similarly, like I want to lose the weight. Similarly, in my mind, there are things that I need to build more, like the good things emotionally, and the bad things the baggages that I'm carrying to remove emotionally. I gotta keep doing these practices, right? It is so important, because same thing with our physical body, our mind works just like that. I wish maybe someday, like AI things or something that they're coming up with, they'll come up with something where we can see where our mind is, and then if you see it physically, that I wish there was like a thermometer, right? And then, okay, where is my mind today? And you see that, you know, your bucket, say your bucket is like some idea for somebody to build something. um, you know, like my bucket is like, you know, if your bucket is 100% full, meaning you're happy 100% full, you will be happy, people around you will be all happy, but then a lot of time our bucket keeps getting emptier and emptier as we go through the stresses in life, and then it's at 50, you still can survive, but your bucket is at 10 and you are not a very nice person to be around, right? So that is when we have the indication that you got to do something to fill it in. We got to do something to fill it in. The unfortunate situation is we don't know. When we are so much in our autopilot, we don't even see that our bucket is empty. So, you know, so you got to keep practicing. You got to keep that bucket full. You got to keep that bucket full. Maybe I'll come up with something for my own. I have a picture over there to remind myself, but with many other pictures or many other things, I still don't always remember, but you know, that's all right. Okay, so I did talk about a lot of stuff. Now I'm going to talk about my progress and I do little grounding technique, intention setting, visualization for the day and the week to go good. Still a lot of doctor's appointment this week. And finally, my mantra, and then I'll finish the video. Okay. These days I don't really say it much out loud, but I do use my nose, ears, eyes to see the colors and the taste of my coffee, energy square that I just ate, and the temperature of the room, the fabric of the tablecloth, and the cup, how it feels in my hand, the tripod. Okay, so progress yesterday, in my opinion, I did make some progress when, you know, I tried to live life a little more fully when I was with my friend. That a lot of time we just talk about, you know, the bad things, how in a bad situation I responded better than before. So I just also wanted to talk about something that, I don't know, in Buddhism, you know, there's unpleasant, neutral, and pleasant feeling. And most of the time I talk about from unpleasant to neutral, I'm bringing it up. And yesterday, I think from neutral to pleasant is what I was trying. So when I was talking to my friend, that was really, really good. That was the highlight, I think, yesterday. So I'm glad. So, and that is actually what helps the most. In Buddhism, they say there are a lot of neutral feelings we have because majority of our feelings are neutral. Like, you know, we get to drink water, clean water. We get to breathe air. But how many times are we thankful for that, right? So when we remind ourselves of that, that becomes a pleasant feeling. Thich Nhat Hanh has a story about having a toothache versus not having toothache. That is also something to be grateful about, right? So when we have a toothache, or, you know, you can consider it's a knee pain or arm pain or other kind of challenges, physical challenges that we feel really sad, and, you know, it's hard to go through that painful experience. But when we don't have that, I forget. I had acid reflux for a few years. Then when I was not able to drink coffee, and I love a cup of coffee in the morning. I don't drink much, usually just one cup. Very rarely I get a second cup. And I used to be grateful since I was able to start drinking coffee after 3 years. And then these days I feel good about it, but I forget to be grateful about it, right? But I can if I remember to be grateful about it. It's not as a chore, like a good thing, like a little good things, then it makes us feel better. And they said that more we, and that's what I heard actually in Joe Dispenza video this morning, like as, and none of this are new. We know this. It's remembering is the key, right? That he said, more you focus on those little good things throughout the day, more your mind will keep looking for those good here and there, right? So good emotion and good feeling attracts more good, and the law of attraction works kind of opposite of a magnet, because magnet is like, North Pole and South Pole, it attracts together. And I wish law of attraction worked that way. Law of attraction is opposite, because the positive feeling attracts more positive, and the negative feeling attracts more negative, and it is the way it is. So if we want to attract more positive, more good in our life, we just have to figure out a way to feel more positive and good. And one of the best way I figured is a positive action. Little positive action, whatever that is. And thought is an action too. And sometimes changing the thought is not possible. And you have felt that, I'm sure. I felt it too. Going for a little walk, even if it's a 5 minutes walk. And for me, sometimes even going out on the deck for 2 minutes, it's the sun. I walk bare feet. I feel the sun, excuse me, to feel the hot, the wood on my feet, and it just brings me down to the present moment, because there's no way not feeling it, right? So it just gets you out of that habit thinking. So yeah, I gotta do that. So I talked about the progress, did the grounding. I'll do a very quick intention setting and visualization. It's almost like when you're setting the intention, you're visualizing, and you're blessing it, your higher self or God, whoever you believe. You just pray a little bit. You bless the time, the coming day and a week, few weeks or month, whichever way you want. Usually I don't go too much further, because then the focus kind of goes away. I bless the time to be better. And finally, I'm going to do my mantra and then finish the video. So I accept and surrender to God. And I speak kind, gentle, compassionate words, positive, uplifting words. Love, peace, harmony, joy, happiness, patience. And many of you who have been watching my videos for a long time, you know that I have attached the mantra to my body parts. I learned it from a Joe Dispenza video. It's a different meditation he does. I kind of combine two different things. Live in the present moment. I am kind. I'm not always right. I'm not always kind, but I try my best, and that's what we can do. I forgive everybody and everyone, and even myself, for the past mistake. And I look for positive in all situations, and I let go all the past and present emotions and thoughts that no longer serve me. And I think I will start doing a affirmation as part of the mantra of the good, because there's a saying that what gets recognized gets repeated. And I think the recognition for ourselves is important, because if no one else is recognizing our good and we are not also, then how is that going to get repeated, right? So I don't know, I'm just gonna, because I'm focusing on heart chakra these days a lot. I am grateful for all the good things that I have built so far. I have learned and I have grown, and I'm grateful for the path that God is guiding guiding me towards. I trust in that path, and I'm grateful that I have the strength that my friends and everybody is helping me to continue in this mindfulness journey and to be nice and kind to people, and being able to let go of those challenging emotions and to live a observer life where I'm not criticizing, blaming, or what did they say? Don't criticize, blame, or complain, right? So now I'm not God. It's not that I never do it. It's all about trying, not about being a perfectionist or I don't know. I will have that more, and that is about being part of raw video, because I did not think of it before. As I was going through it, I just remembered that I need to start recognizing the good in me too, so that I can continue to repeat then the good, and I'll probably figure out a way to come up with a one-liner so I'm not rambling with that. But I do like to practice my mantra. I'll probably do it in one book I read. They said to do it 5 times a day. I probably need to start getting into 5 times. I probably do about, 3 times. And sometimes I do it just in my mind. Sometimes I speak to it, and sometimes I speak on the videos to do that. Anyway, live your life. That's what I would say. I was saying it to my friend yesterday. You got to enjoy life. You got to figure out ways to enjoy the little things in life, and also if you have dreams to do big things. I have dreams to travel. In a week I'll be going to Pennsylvania. Alice, me, and then a friend I'll meet, and her daughter too. But big trips sometime, go to an island sometime. I don't know, I want to go to Paris. That has been my long time dream. And Italy, I don't know, maybe Hawaii someday. So, you gotta create those, because if you have a dream, we gotta take steps towards those to live a fulfilling life. If we don't take action, we just have it in our mind, not gonna happen. So we gotta take steps. Like, I'm gonna start applying for jobs now so that eventually I land a job. We gotta take actions, right? Now we can attract, with law of attraction, with visualization, with mindfulness, you ask the universe and you get a harmonious job, you get a harmonious life. But we got to take actions. Without action, opportunities are not going to knock on our door just if you're sitting at home and doing nothing, right? So we got to take actions. Actions are the key, positive actions. Okay, so I talked a lot. And thank you guys for coming and supporting me with your comments and likes and subscribing. It means the world to me. It means so much that I can't put it in words. And these are the things that, oh my God, the goodness and kindness of people that blows me away in a good way. It's like people, we don't know each other, but you're there, you're coming to support a stranger, right? You have never met. That means a lot. Your kindness, your goodness is helping me to keep going. Remember that? Because somebody said on the channel that, my videos are helping people, and I'm so grateful that it is. So grateful, so thankful that you think that way. You wrote that comment, and guess what? Your comment also is helping other people to see that there is niceness in the world. There is stranger encouraging a stranger, and we are communicating and encouraging each other. that goodness spreads. When somebody is probably seeing that comment and thinking their day is better, just that little from that little thing. And all of your comments, and when you subscribe or when you like my videos, that encourages me to keep going on this path. Because my fear when I created this channel, my fear was really that I'm gonna give up this mindfulness practice, and I didn't want to give up, because especially in December, when I started this journey, December, January, February, I was so deep in Buddhism. People will think I'm crazy. In December, I was listening to Buddhism related talks and meditation for 15-16 hours a day, which is pretty much all day other than when I was sleeping. And that did help me, and I found peace, real peace, enlightenment. They call it mini enlightenment in me, in the midst of many chaos that I was living through. So I knew how good it can be, so I didn't want to let it go, and I didn't know how to hold on to it. And the mindfulness practice and all of that, this is up to us to hold on, when we don't have to depend on somebody, but we can hold on to something good by ourselves. Excuse me. We just got to figure out a way to do it, sort of like going to the gym. We got to figure out motivation for ourselves, how to continue doing it. So this was one way. This is sort of like, it's a weird way of explaining, but this is my gym for my mindfulness, right? So I knew that this is how I'm going to continue. So then I started doing that, and you guys are encouraging me. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. When we continue in a good path, life has to unfold better. There's no other way, because that's how law of attraction works. When we are kind and compassionate and we have goodness in us, the goodness has to follow us. It may not show up right away. We need to walk the path, the destination that we are trying to reach. And life is not just one destination. We just keep going. We enjoy the journey. But the destination that we are trying to reach might be 200 miles. We might be able to see only 2 miles, but we just gotta keep going. We just gotta keep going. Encourage each other, your friends or whoever you see. Encourage each other, and then stay on that positive path, and it will fall. I'll fall, I know. Some days are harder than others, but we gotta get back up. We gotta get back up each time and keep going, because you are motivating others, you're guiding others, especially if you have kids. Kids learn by seeing instead of like what we tell them. They learn more by seeing, and sometimes they learn from things that we don't even know. Like a few days ago, I might have shared the story, I can't remember. I asked my little daughter Alice that, Alice, you're very good at forgiving. Where did you learn that from? That's a very good quality to have. And she says, from you. And I was blown away in a nice way, in a good way. I'm like, oh my God, I did not know that she learned to forgive people from me. I'm like, how did that even happen? I didn't even know. So, when we follow on that journey to make ourselves better, to do goodness, to kindness, the kids around us, and guess what? There's in a book I learned that the big people are also, there's a little kid inside of all of us, inside of me even, and we learn, and when we are kind and good, the people around us, they learn. Sometimes somebody would learn 10 good things you do. Somebody would learn, they'll pick up one out of those 10 things, and that is still the goodness that we are spreading in the world, right? So we just got to continue doing that. We won't always be perfect, but keep trying, keep doing. A lot of it is, of course, I'm telling myself, because these videos are still not many people watch it, especially the long ones, which is okay, because this is the real journaling I do throughout the day. I make a couple of more shorter videos, but the morning is it's like my mind's gym, to stay positive, to encourage myself, to continue, go with the consistency, to remind myself of gratitude, of the blue sky, the sun, the tree, the Mother Earth, the way that I feel connected, and then the way I feel the consistency in my life I've never felt before. It came from mindfulness. No matter where I go, those consistencies will be there with my life. Okay, bye. I hope you have a wonderful day and week ahead. Until I see you next time. Bye.